guys, and welcome back to Freelance Fridays. So I want to apologize first off and just say sorry to you guys because I know I haven't been very present on here and maybe some of you are like, where is she? I've actually been struggling just to get the bare minimum of a Freelance Friday video up every week at this stage, and that is because my partner and I have just bought our own house. So it has been so incredibly busy over the last few weeks. We also got engaged a little while back too, so it's just been, there's so many plans going on and we've been really trying to focus on that. So it really has pulled me away from a lot of my work and from YouTube. And I have been doing a lot of work stuff behind the scenes as well that you guys probably haven't seen too much of, which is actually really exciting. And I can't wait to share it all with you guys. But yeah, it's just been a hectic month and I just want to get back to it. So we don't really move in for like a month or so, but hopefully you guys are never going to have to see this garage again, and neither will I. So it's going to be a totally different filming setup, which will be so nice. But anyway, that's where I've been, and I am trying my best to get up content at the moment. But for today's Freelance Friday video, I really want to get into the debate amongst whether you should be shooting what you love or whether you should be shooting to keep up with certain trends that are going around. And I think this is a really hot topic at the moment with fashion photographers, beauty photographers, those types of commercial photographers who really do feel a lot of the time that they're thrown amongst trends whether they like them or not, and also feel a lot more pressure when it comes to keeping up with them and to paying attention to them, whether that be for their business or whether it's even for their portfolios and doing things that they want to do. So I want to talk a little bit more about this today because I think there's definitely two sides to this that people sometimes don't look at. I think it's always hard to be brought away from things that you love doing, and especially as creatives, the business aspect of all this and having to run your own business as a photographer sometimes can be very exhausting. It can be draining, and sometimes it can really feel like as creatives we are selling out and we are doing it for the money and we're not necessarily doing things that we want to do and things that we love. And it's not a very great feeling when you start to feel that way. I think it's a bit of a trap that all of us get in from time to time. But I also think that there's some merits to looking at trends, and then there's also, I think, staying true to yourself. So I want to go through a few of these points today. So number one, first off the bat, I just want to say it is so important that you feel fulfilled creatively. And I think that that is the number one most important thing to look at through all of this, is that you need to fulfill those desires when it comes to your creativity and what you want to do. If you're not doing that and you're just doing things to earn money, or you're just following trends for the sake of following trends and to become popular, that is not going to fulfill you creatively. And I think that that needs to be something that all of us focus on from time to time, whether that is on the side doing test shoots as fashion photographers or doing editorial submissions. I tend to find that doing editorial submissions sometimes tends to fulfill me more creatively, even though it doesn't bring in the money. It tends to fulfill the need to do things that are creative and to really create a story and to really create something that you love. Whereas a lot of commercial work that I do is based around client briefs, and not all the time I will love necessarily a client brief or whatever they've put to me, but it's a way to earn money and it's a way to earn my living, and it is something that I need to do as a fashion photographer. But as I said, try and fulfill yourself creatively, whether that's doing things on the side that don't necessarily always make you money. It is totally fine to not be earning money from what you're doing and still running a business on the side. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think we all need to get over the whole hustle thing and look at it from the point of view as what is going to be your service that you can offer to the world as a photographer. What can you charge people for, and how can you earn a living from that? And making sure in the same token that you are doing things that do fulfill you creatively and that you do love to do. Always make sure that that comes first. So I want to talk a little bit about trends now in terms of being a commercial and fashion photographer. And when it comes to trends in this industry, it's almost a little bit of a given that you do need to follow them. Now, this can be done in your own way, and I think that this can apply to a lot of different things. There are photography trends as well as fashion trends, as well as makeup trends and product trends. So it's important to realize what we're talking about here. So there are a few photography trends in fashion at the moment, and yes, they are very lucrative if you can do them well. However, I think in saying that, I think it's very important, like I said before, to be true to yourself and true to your photography style. The thing about trends is that a lot of people are doing them and a lot of people are on that sort of style of photography. The good thing about staying true to your own work and doing your own style is that you're bound to stand out more than people who are just following a photography trend in fashion. Sometimes, as I said, it is necessary to look at certain fashion photography trends and fashion trends, pair them together and use those to earn a living. But having said that, as I mentioned before, stay true to what you're doing as well, because that is more likely to help you stand out than always just following a trend or always just posting things on Instagram that are trending or on your social media and portfolio sites. So I think it's very important to remember that you can still follow trends in a way and earn money, but you can also still do the things that you love and stay true to that. And remember, when it comes to fashion and commercial photography, take those trends on board and see what people are liking at the moment, but that doesn't always necessarily have to mean that you do exactly the same as someone else or you have to follow exactly in the same way. You can put a twist on it. You can do things in your own way and keep your niche going and keep your own style going. It's hard as a creative sometimes, as I said before, to produce things that you're not always happy about and that you're not always proud of. And it does feel from time to time like you are selling out to do certain things. But I think for me, especially in my business, I've really just started, and especially this year, I've really tried to focus on shooting things that I love to shoot. And some of that has actually been done by doing some editorial submissions. And it's really gotten me into the game of looking at storytelling and looking at the big picture, not always just looking at a test shoot and taking a bunch of photos just for the sake of it. I think that's a really easy trap to fall into. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in an upcoming Freelance Friday video. But to feel like you're selling out at times, it's a pretty natural feeling, I think. And a lot of us do feel like that as creatives. I think, like I said though, it's important to realize that you are also running a business and there are going to be ways that you have to earn money. So whatever way you choose to do that is totally up to you and totally up to your style of photography too. And it really depends on your niche and how you want your business to run. I have to admit, there's no better feeling than shooting a concept that you've thought of from start to finish and just doing something that you really want to do photography wise. There's nothing better than organizing a shoot like that and having it come through in the end as something that you're proud of. It is hard to go to jobs sometimes or to do commercial work and clients and feel maybe not as proud of certain things. But as I said, it's quite a natural feeling. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit off topic there with the commercial side of things and earning money. But I do tend to feel that that's how a lot of people make their money these days, is by following these photography trends and getting on board with that. But remember, always remember that you will be bound to stand out if you keep true to your style and you do the things that you love. The money will come eventually. It doesn't always have to be about, I have to follow this trend to make sure I'm earning a living. There may be times where this sort of thing does come up and you may get approached by a brand that necessarily might not be too interested in your style of photography. They just want you to shoot something. But at the same time, I think if you keep going with the style that you've got, if you really improve on that and always evolve that, the money will come, the clients will come, and everything will fall in its place as it's meant to. I think it's too easy to look at Instagram and social media these days and look at a lot of these other photographers and think, well, they've got really big social media followings, or they're getting a lot of money, they're booking a lot of clients. I should be doing what they're doing. What I'm doing isn't working. And it's very natural to feel that way. It's very easy to feel that way, especially with what's thrown at us constantly, daily on social media. But try and remember always that your work is unique to you. And sometimes to compare your work to other photographers is such a useless thing to do, because you have started at a completely different point. They have started at a completely different point. And just because they're doing something that might be considered popular by a vast majority of people doesn't mean that that's always something that you have to do. I think when it comes to trends, it's interesting and it's helpful to acknowledge why certain trends are popular and try and find different ways that you can utilize why certain things are popular in your own way. So once again, I just want to reiterate how you should be looking at this whole debate, and certain ways that I tend to look at it as, especially as a photographer and a fashion photographer. I like to try and keep up with fashion trends and product trends because I think that's really important to do in the industry that we're in. But at the same time, I look at other photographers' work and I admire it for being their own. I admire it for being a trend, but I don't necessarily take that on board as I need to do that too, to earn money or to make a successful business. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments section below what your thoughts are when it comes to this debate. I'm really sorry about that bird going on, by the way, because oh my gosh, it's just like a nightmare trying to film in my garage sometimes. But as I was saying, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know if there's any other videos that you want to see like this one, any other debates that you think I should weigh in on. I know that this is a very hot one at the moment, especially with fashion photographers. The good thing about being a fashion photographer, I think a lot of the time, is that you can be as unique as you want to be, you can be as out of the box as you want to be, and you can be so creative with whatever you're doing in your style of photography. So I think, especially as fashion photographers, we shouldn't always feel the need to hop on certain trends with photography. I think that there's so much we can be doing to be unique and true to our own selves, and we don't always have to do that. We don't have to follow the social media trends of the day or anything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, as I said before, and please let me know if there's anything else you would like to see in Freelance Fridays for coming weeks, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!